Midland College is hosting their Friday Talk series this week, and tomorrow's speaker is a professor of genetics who teaches students in the Midwest from his home in Midland. Meteorologist Santo Domingo recently sat down with him for another Let's Talk Science.
If you didn't know that West Texas has an accomplished genetics professor in our midst, well, now you do. Dr. Andrew DeWoody is a professor at Purdue University, but he lives here in Midland with his family. Tomorrow, he will be giving a talk at Midland College as part of their first Friday Talk series. And I sat down with Dr. DeWoody to find out more about his talk and how he went from a West Texas oil family to studying genetics and wildlife conservation.
I grew up in West Texas, hunting and fishing, and spent a lot of time outdoors. Loved it. Went to college and at Texas A&M, started off in engineering, but I had a roommate who was a fisheries major, and I didn't have any idea you could major in fisheries. And it turns out there's a whole department of wildlife and fisheries, and when I found that out, I was all in.
DeWoody grew up in an oil family. He even still has his grandfather's hard hat, but if anything, this inspired him even more to study genetics and wildlife conservation.
I live in the oil field. I grew up in the oil field. My grandfather, Hollis Clark, had a truck fabrication company. I'm part of the culture out here, but I also want to try and do the best we can to be good stewards of our natural resources.
One major talking point on Friday will be genetic diversity, which DeWoody says we can relate to on a human scale.
The diversity is a big topic in society today at large, right? And we always talk about how diversity is a good thing. It's the same way with genetic diversity in wildlife populations. We want to maintain as much genetic diversity as possible to maintain healthy wildlife populations.
If you're like me and biology isn't your thing, Dr. DeWoody says you'll still fit right in if you love animals and you love science.
I would encourage people to come who want to expand their knowledge base, right? That's what science is all about, because I'll talk about science, but I'll also show some cool pictures and talk about some of the research we're doing on some really interesting species like gray whales and golden eagles and Massasauga rattlesnakes, and how we're using genetics to answer conservation questions for all those sorts of species.
Now, among other things DeWoody will be talking about is inbreeding and genome sequencing. His talk will be held tomorrow from noon to 1 at the Carrasco Room at Midland College. To learn more about Dr. DeWoody's work, log on to our website at newswest9.com. Back to you.